how are you? There's a fine line between creating movement and creating muscles. Now, let's say I go to the gym. I create muscles, but I do it in a way where I'm always conscious that I'm creating movement. And so most things are linear. I always add that rotation. You know, why does a cowboy still look in shape in the middle of December, right? Because, you know, again, those functional movements of baling hays, all of that kind of stuff. Creating muscle might be important for various regions. Tonus into the skin, the 7 key rotational milestones, and going into the infant developmental movement patterns. When a child is born, let's say premature, their skin is larger than the body, and going into that. And if they didn't get that momentum and breathing and moving and reaching and being a baby this way, and they were more here, well, of course, they now don't have that rotation to go in. Babies can't just switch it up. And you'd be surprised, most adults can't either. Core strength is not going to help you sit up. Core strength is not going to help you because when a child is using a muscle, and this doesn't matter even if they're 4 or 5, again, therapy should be therapy for helping with transitional movements, meaning can you get in and out of standing? Can you get in and out of standing to walking? Can you get in and out of sitting to crawling or to all fours? That's where you're going to get the movement milestones. You're not going to get them from sitting a child there and walking away and seeing if they can balance in that position. They're never going to, because now they're in a preventative mode. They're building muscles that they don't need to build, and because they're building muscles to prevent. Muscles actually help you prevent a movement, not go into a progress, because muscles don't create movement. Muscles are there to respond to movement. When you're doing a program, what we call it intensive doesn't necessarily mean, oh my gosh, I'm sweating, you know. Intensive means that you're learning how to move. So when you're at other programs where the whole core thing is that static pose, oh my gosh, my kid stood for 30 seconds, they've never stood like that before, muscle-based inhibitions, the vision goes. Because again, the stronger I get here, right, I'm not looking at you because I've got these 6-pack abs, but I'm not, you know, working the room. Versus here where, again, a baby's got their belly out and, you know, they look like little Buddhas, but they're moving in different ways. Appreciate those things. When the muscle engages before it is meant to, it takes away weight transfer, transitional movements, counterbalance. When a muscle comes into play, it goes into core strengths, not core movements. Movement should be fun, and it shouldn't be work. You're being told your child's going to work. Yeah, that's why they have labor laws. I'm going to go into another quick topic about Botox. Your child has a movement vocabulary. What you start looking at is dystonic features. When a child, let's say they have incomplete ischiums, this is where I look at it, in coccyvalga, and they're like this. I might have to be all the way out here to do my balance. I'm telling you, you would be too. Pretend you only have 1/2 of your right cheek on a skateboard, and now you've got to write a dissertation. Your feet are off the ground, all of that going on. You're going to balance abnormally. But that's my language of balance. My language of balance, yes, should be here and all of this kind of stuff and doing all this. I get it where it should be, but it's right now, it's here. For whatever reason, this is plumb. This is where scoliosis comes into play because the body feels that this is straight versus this being straight. Looking at those kind of things, if you use Botox, and listen guys, I'm not saying never use Botox. What I'm saying is the evaluation. Now, first of all, if I'm here and I have esotropia, my eyes going in, and I use Botox, like my vision's already shot. I'm seeing double. I feel like I'm seasick. You know, what do you do when you're seasick? You put your arms out like, oh, I'll stop the boat. When you're using Botox incorrectly, right, you're now saying, oh, don't put your arm out. Oh, God, now my balance is really bad. Oh, let me stick my foot out. Yes, they might see visually what they're trying to stop is the arms being out, come down, but now their feet are starting to, you know what I mean? And this is where the ankles will start to curl, things like that. Botox is paralysis. When you're using, so for someone to say, should I use Botox? That's a loaded question for me. I don't know what your vision, that's where I'll say, I need to see a video. I'm not saying that the Botox doesn't work. We don't want the hips to come out, right? Pros and cons. We don't want the hips to come out. We don't want subluxation. We don't want, there's many things that had happened, but we need to address the whole body of work. If you're looking at Botox and haven't been to an ophthalmologist first, again, then nobody's evaluating vision, and that needs to be done first, because listen, just an astigmatism in the eye can cause the issues that you're dealing with, lack of vision, the lack of balance. So that's where I look at the whole picture as much as possible. Look at everything here as you're learning how to move, and we all need it. Thanks.